pinnacle of esports stands the elite, where the fearless and the bold live. To be the best, you must beat the best. This is the 2023 eBlacks National Selection. Join us as we witness the elite take their rightful place to represent our country as the New Zealand eBlacks. Tonight, 2 individuals will be inducted into the eBlacks squad, attaining the highest level of prestige as esports athletes. Many are called, but few are chosen. This is where legends are being born. Kia ora and good evening, everybody. My name is Jonathan Arcadian Jansen, and we're coming to you live from the heart of Auckland CBD at the Sky Tower and LPL Studios for the 2023 National eBlacks Selections. And I hope that you are as excited as I am to be here. I am here with Varun Moody, aka Mr. Rochester, who will be joining us on our journey tonight, where we find the 2023 eBlacks to represent New Zealand on the global stage. So who are the eBlacks? Well, in esports, some people compete for fame, some for fortune, but this is their opportunity to compete for glory. Because we all know that there is something special about slipping on the black jersey and representing our country, punching above our weight as we do as Kiwis, and this is that opportunity. Hundreds of gamers from across the country have competed online, and only 2 could be here tonight, as this is the pinnacle stage, and only one will take away the name and the privilege. One of us will have our name etched in the history books of New Zealand esports as an eBlack, and the other will go home with that bitter, sweet taste of I almost made it there. And so the stakes could not possibly be higher. Mr. Rochester, you excited as I am?
I'm so excited. These players have been battling out, and you've got players, coming from Kaitaia all the way down to Invercargill, competing for that chance to represent Aotearoa, the nation, the beating heart, the team of 5 million. You be the one to show that yourself off on the international stage will be such an amazing honor for these guys.
That's it. And it's not just the honor, but it's the chance to compete against all the other countries in a way that we don't often get to do in esports. The first stop on the road to Romania for the eBlacks will be the 15th World Esports Championships.
Yeah, but this will be played in Iași, Romania, where the qualifiers and the winners of tonight's game will be playing, trying to prove themselves on the international stage, showing the world that, hey, New Zealand is here and they are here to play in their respective esports titles.
And that's what's making the stakes so high, is that the players outside who have competed for weeks and they're now here, the top 2, and one of them, once they win the game, they know they're going to get an all-expenses paid trip over to Romania to represent New Zealand at the pinnacle of what they've been training so hard to achieve. And so emotions are high. It's all about keeping calm. But what exactly does the first step for the eBlacks look like this year? Well, that's Romania. That's the 15th World Esports Championships by IESF. Let's take a look.
Do you think you've got what it takes? The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, international esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting for the championship in a celebration of everything that makes esports great. Who will rise up to the challenge? Who will be the world champion?
There it is, the first stop on this year's campaign for the eBlacks. It's exactly what tonight's competitors are battling for, and it is a huge opportunity. As you saw, hundreds of countries are finding their national teams, and the Kiwis are going to be heading over as the eBlacks to compete. It means a whole lot.
It definitely means a whole lot to the players, and it meant a whole lot to the players last night who competed in that first qualifying in that games in CSGO. We have Nordica winning out against the Capybara Roadmen in a convincing 2-0 victory. They're looking very strong as players here to represent New Zealand, and to be honest, it was such a stomp of a game. It was beautiful to see, and I'd be worried if I was the other countries.
Some people call it a stomp. I thought a merciless, definitive victory there. We had our our online qualifiers, actually. We're super lucky in New Zealand to have such fantastic fibre internet across the country, and so they're able to compete online remotely from all over the country. Last night, we're the first team inducted into the E-Black squad for CSGO, and they'll be continuing their qualifying pathway against Australia and other Asian nations. And so that was our great first step, but tonight, it's all about eFootball and Tekken.
Yes, it is. We will be seeing Joshua King versus Noah Abre, and just Noah J and versus JMK in the eFootball. And later on tonight, we'll be seeing Tekken 7 Mysterious Rambo versus Kuro. And you'll notice there, Joshua King starts with a 1-0 there because he went undefeated in his qualifiers, playing against the best players up and down across New Zealand. And because of that, he gains this advantage over Noah JA. So Noah JA will have a lot to fight back for if he wants to try and win and represent his country here.
And there's so much more to say about these two players. But first, let's take a look earlier at the day at how the players are feeling coming into tonight's matches.
So my name's Josh, or known in game as JMK King, and I'm an eFootball player. I played well for the most part. In my very first game, actually, in the best of threes, I only won 2-1, and then the next two in the upper bracket were both 2-0 victories in best of three format.
My name's Noah JA, and I'm competing for the eFootball. Yeah, so it was a bracket. I won my first game, and then just beat a couple guys and got into the final.
Yeah, I feel confident going into the final now. I have that 1 game head start on a best of 5, so I'm already ahead from that upper bracket finish, and I feel good.
Not too confident. He's pretty good. He's the reigning champion, but I'll see what I can do, yeah.
It might work in his favour that a little bit of inexperience on eFootball. He might do something that's a bit unconventional and I may not see coming, so I'll have to stay alert. It's not going to be an easy game by any means.
My game plan is just to play slow and then just wait on his mistakes and just pounce on it.
Being in this kind of LAN environment as well, that's still something that's very new to Noah, the majority of his play being online. So that's something that could play into my favour, I think. I've got that a bit more experience. I've been around these events a bit longer, and yeah, I think that's something that can only benefit me.
It would mean a lot to me to represent New Zealand as an E-Black, especially for something that I love doing, like gaming. It would be unreal, eh?
Yeah, it's always an honour to be able to say I represent New Zealand and be able to compete and represent on the international stage, and that's something that's a privilege for me, not a right. So we've got this big final today and I need to win it to prove that I should keep my place in the team.
I absolutely love the humility coming out of these guys. I think Noah, says, I beat someone and then I beat a couple more guys. To get here, it was such an amazing feat. And we know that Noah plays for the Newcastle Jets in the E-League for FIFA. JMK King is on the Wellington Phoenix for the E-League. And so these two are two heavy hitters. And let's take a look at the head-to-head stats specifically. But it's just so great to hear that they're so humble.
Yeah, definitely. And we see here in the head-to-head, JMK, 23 years of age. He is definitely more experienced in this game, but you can't count out Noah, the young blood coming on through, 18 years of age. They're these boys from North and South Island representatives. And good to see, as well as enjoying the eFootball scene, they definitely enjoy the Premier League as well. The boys with Everton and Arsenal are there as their favourite teams, and we see definitely as they're getting in and they will be locking themselves in. JMK, they on your screen, and he's looking beautiful, and that's because we've been graciously given these lovely views thanks to the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and it has a new adaptive pixel 200 megapixel sensor that captures unrivaled photos. So definitely nice to see the quality of that they provide us here, and it's just they're looking great here, and JMK looking definitely dialed in.
Pretty sure that's the only camera where you can see the sweat dripping down his brow as he prepares. I love the cold, cool, collected look that JMK had in his eyes. And that's really collective of the story that we're telling so far, right? Is that JMK is the former E-Black last year. He competed against the world's best and took them to penalty shootouts. He is an absolutely experienced player, but even tonight it's about keeping his emotions calm and seeing if he can do it, because the threat is always there from Noah. But that's enough from me. I'm excited to watch this match. We're going to bring in our expert commentator analyst to join you, Mr. Rochester. So take it away. The games are ready.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. We'll be having Zulu join us on the cast. And Zulu, you were in the same position last year, right? Against JMK. It was a grueling match last year, but this time you're sitting out here on the sidelines ready to compete and cheering on these boys. Are you excited for the games tonight?
I'm really excited. Honestly, we've got the two best players in our country, let alone in our region, and I'm really excited. This is going to be a great match.
It definitely will be a great match, and if you're looking towards these players, who would you put your favour for, and who's going to take this match here?
It's hard not to go for Josh at this point. He's got the 1-0 game lead, and he beat me last year. I know what he's capable of, and I think he may do it again.
Yep, and we are definitely jumping right into game here. We see them and getting ready to hop out into the stage. JMK there down your bottom left of your screen, and there's Noah JA on the bottom right, looking to see if they can crown their victory. Keep in mind, everyone, he does have a 1-0 start in this JMK, so Noah JA will have to get 3 back, as JMK only needs to win 2 maps, and we'll be starting now underway. Both teams picking PSG here. And a little bit of passive one-touch football going on at the start, just going up the back line here and developing. And we'll like to see them start off. And I like this here from JMK as he's starting to work up the pitch here. One-touch football going either way, and looking to see if they can spread it out on the wing. A good point. Both of these teams picking PSG because they've got such an aggressive forward positions. You've got Mbappe there and Messi, and there's a through ball going to go through, but nice hold there, and there's turnover of the ball's possession as ball gets cleared up, but it's taken back there by JMK, and finally a little bit of control now established here for Noah JA as he starts to work up the pitch now. Luis.
Yeah, you can see the important play here is just short passes, quick passes, just getting into those small gaps and exploiting the wide spaces after that. So you see that from Noah just then. And that's going to be the key to winning these games. It's going to be the key to getting goals. And seeing how each player defends those will also be the most crucial part. So yeah.
Definitely, and for these guys, it's not just this game. They'll be playing a best of 5 here to see if they can win that series, as we do have Noah JA now out on the wing, tries to get the cross in, but no, defended out nicely there, and Noah JA has to hold on to this defense, and it's neck and neck at the moment. They have to hold off for 10 minutes each game, so it's going to be a long night for these boys, and let's see if they keep the mental as Noah JA comes up here on the wing.
I'm curious to see how Noah will perform in these games. This is one of his first experiences on LAN. Josh is a veteran experience on LAN. He's been doing it for the past couple of years. This is Noah's first real attempt at playing in these high pressure environments, so it will be interesting to see how he performs comparatively to Josh, but at the moment we have Josh with the ball, and he's moving it up quite nicely, exploiting the space, and this will be the key to winning the games.
Through ball to Messi, nice pass there to Mbappe, but no, can't hit the shot. He does, manages to recover the ball, and that's a 1-0 goal there for JMK going off Mbappe. It's such a nice counter attack there coming on through for him, and Azula, it's looking like JMK is back in his form, and maybe some nerves initially coming on in for Noah JA.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call him the king. It's because he's the best in New Zealand at the moment, and there's no doubt about that. But Noah will have to show that he is better, or that he can pull this out. He can reverse the sweep, reverse the score, get it level, and fight back. But until we see that, Josh will remain the king.
Definitely will. We do see a bit of an offside there, is trying to get that through ball through, but this is going to be cleared out nicely by JMK, and we'll reset here. Still 21 minutes. We're coming up soon into the second half of the first half here, and Azula, if you're Noah JA here, do you just try play a standard game, or do you try spice things up a bit here? That's
I'm going to be honest,
enough.
if you're Noah J, you do that. If you're Noah J, you do that. But yeah, he has to spice it up. He has to try something different. If he's just going to play Josh at his own game, he's going to lose. He needs to try something different. He needs to be a different player than what Josh is.
And how do you do that? How do you try be a different player to Josh is when Josh has got such an all-round game?
Well, that's the thing. You just have to be able to utilize the skills, utilize the short passing and the space that is provided that Josh leaves open. And you should be able to maybe get an exploit in there, but you have to be consistent with it. And if you're not consistent with it, then Josh will punish you for those small mistakes.
Yeah, it seems consistency is key, and especially in a young gun like Noah, the inexperience might lead to no consistency, but seems like he's able to work up the ball here on the pitch, and nice short passes, finding the gaps nicely as well. That shot passing accuracy will be nice and high, and they start to just develop here in that mid position, pushing towards the goal. Back to Mendes, back to Verratti, and starting to get towards the goal into Mbappe, and no, ball turned over, and Josh's defense looking very strong here.
It is. I'm loving the use of Noah's wing-backs to attack. He does have a 5 at the back formation, so it's good to see that he is using those wing-backs on the right and the left to kind of exploit those spaces and get more attacking options inbound, especially with Josh's solid defense.
Yeah, definitely wanting more players forward. And what's the formation looking like here for JMK?
It's looking like he's running about the same formation. It seems like the standard PSG formation for both players at the moment is a 5 at the back, with Messi, Neymar and Mbappe up top, just creating havoc with Verratti controlling the midfield. And it's just a standard 5 at the back at the moment, which is very solid for defense and is what you need in one of these high pressure games.
Yep, the pressure is on, and Noah J might be applying a little bit of pressure here on the counter-attack. Mbappe on the wing, managed to recover the ball, but the challenge is good there, and recovers there is JMK. We're coming up close to the end of the first half, and we're still level scores here. Let's see if someone can sneak in a cheeky goal towards the end here. Doesn't seem like it, just a bit of a throw-in. 3 minutes left until that first half will be done, and you see JMK there shaking his head, so a little bit of nerves coming on through, just getting back into the groove of things. But I mean, you were here last year, right? So you know that the first couple games will be a little bit rough, and you'll slowly and eventually see yourself whack into it, and the shot goes off for Noah JA, but unfortunately doesn't do that. Trying to capitalize there on those little mistakes, and JMK not looking as very confident here. Zulu heading up close to the half. How do you feel like these boys have been playing?
I feel like Josh hasn't been playing to the best of his ability. Noah has stepped up to the challenge, if I'm being completely honest. But the thing about Josh is his first game is never his best game. His first game is always his worst game. So I only expect him to get stronger, and I expect Noah to also get stronger. But it'll be a test of who is the strongest at the end.
Yeah, it's a bit like a warm-up, right? You need to get those initial nerves, those little initial jitters out, and we will be definitely seeing that. And you can see Josh there, he's having to focus up here because he's down a goal. You know, he's the heavy favorite coming into this, but the pressure will be on him because if Noah JA wins this game, they'll be tied up at that scoreline. That advantage that he came in with will disappear. So hoping to close this one out cleanly, but as you said, those slow starts, Azilu, could that bite Josh in the back?
It could bite Josh in the back, but at the moment it's a tied game. It's really anyone's game to take at the moment. I feel like both players are now playing ultra defensive, knowing that each player can score against each other. So it's just, I reckon it's going to be a 2-1 game. Whoever gets that breakthrough will just solid rock at the back, and I don't think the other player will be able to break through. But until we see that goal, it's an even game.
Yeah, and we heard initially in that commentary was saying that Noah said he likes to start playing off slow and the counter-attack coming on through, but nicely defended. The goal shot can't quite get through there, and nicely cleared there by JMK, but Noah seemingly...
This could be a nice one.
Oh no, carry on with your point there, sir.
Apologies. This could be a nice... I was going to say this could have been a nice counter-attack. Saw Mbappe, Neymar, Messi all running up the top. But it seemed like he wanted to just play it slow and play it at the back.
Is that the strength of the PSG forwards, is just their sheer pace on the counterattacks?
It's their pace, it's their dribbling, it's their passing, it's everything. It's Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, 3 of the top 10 players in the world, with the best 2 players in the world. So at the end of the day, you're going to have options. You're going to have opportunities.
Yep, and these boys will be looking for options to score. Noah J back with the ball here, and he's, like we saw in that interview, he thought he was going to take things slow and try work up the pitch slowly, but seems like he's trying to match the tempo that JMK is bringing here on the counter-attack, and it seems like a very counter-attack heavy game at the moment. For you, Azilu, what does JMK need to do to get the win here?
He needs to get past this press that that Noah is doing. Noah's pressing very high up on Josh's players, and Joshua's strength is using space and pace, and he's not able to do that when he's having to use only technical ability. He does have the technical ability available. Oh, he goes for a shot. But at the moment, he's just not getting that space, and he needs to be able to break through that first line, maybe the second, and then he'll be free and he'll be able to score goals. But until he's able to do that, it's a tie game.
Yep, not able to break the line there. It's just the defense standing too strong there for Noah JA. We said about that 5 at the back. It's holding really well here, and Josh trying to figure out if he can weasel his way in, try make a run for one of the players, but it's not done there. Ball overturned, and we see Noah JA looking very strong here in his defense.
Yeah, Noah's had a very solid defense. You see he's playing it out the back, he's playing it safe, he's not trying to risk it too much. He's not trying to force the ball up, which is showing me that he's actually quite calm and composed at the moment. Josh is also doing the same thing, switching the ball across the field when he needs to. So at the moment, I think we're seeing 2 of the top players at their best right now. Very calm, very relaxed, very focused, determined to both get the win, which is making it even more exciting than it was initially.
Yep, we've just hit the 75-minute mark of the game. We'll be coming down to the wire soon. Maybe a bit of a change up needed. Maybe players going a little bit more attacking, would you say?
I think it's going to be a mixture. I don't think Josh is going to go all out attacking, knowing that he's gone to penalties before. He's won against me in penalties. He's won against many players in penalties. He's a very good player at penalties, I'll be honest. I think he's just going to try hold out and just play his normal game. Let Noah make the mistakes. Let Noah do the rookie mistake of trying to catch up to the lead and trying to score the goals in a rush. He can just play his game. He can take his time. He knows he's going to get those goals eventually. He knows he's going to be able to break through. But it's just a matter of time. If it takes extra time, if it takes penalties, he knows he can get it.
Yep, he knows he can. There's a nice counter-attack here for JMK as well, pushing up the field, and you talked about that 3 forward with the Vareti in the midfield supporting them, and allows JMK to now try working as we're getting down to the wire for that regulation time. Nice through ball there coming on through, but nicely defended there by Josh. I know JA, and going to go out for a throw-in. And these players, they just seem neck and neck, right? This is the top of New Zealand esports, and they're showing why they're here to play tonight.
Yeah, they're both showing their best. They're both showing their best game. It's beautiful to watch, honestly. You can't get anything better than a close game. Just the intensity, the rivalry, everything. These guys have known each other for a while. They're teammates on the New Zealand national FIFA team. So they're familiar with each other's games. And I guess it'll just be whoever wants it the most will win.
Yeah, definitely, and they'll both be wanting to get as much as possible for the chance to represent Aotearoa as we do conclude their regulation time with 0 extra added time. So we'll have this corner, and we'll have overtime coming on through. And corner, the set pieces, let's see how good they are for Noah JA here. Header trying to come on through, but no, nicely cleared there by JMK, and there we go. 1-0 at the end of regulation, 1-1 at the end of regulation time.
Yeah, so I think both players will need to make substitutions here. And it looks like that's... Oh, it's going to penalties?
Yep, does seem like we're going to go straight into the penalties here. And this is where you said JMK likes to thrive. This is his pause, and that's exactly what he does. First one, nice and clean down in the bottom left corner there. So he's just so confident in these. He's been in this situation so many times. Let's see what Noah JA can bring here. Straight down the middle. Is that a bit of a cheese move there, Azilu?
I think it's just a bit of a confidence move. Usually on the first penalty, everyone's going to dive. If you go down the middle, it's almost a guaranteed.
Oh, Noah with the save as well. So he's putting himself in a good situation. The pressure's now on JMK to try save this, otherwise Noah stays up here in the penalty shootout. But reads it again. A little bit cheeky there for Noah. Is that a little bit too overzealous there?
I don't think so. I think it's just all mind games. At the end of the day, you never know where the goalkeeper's going to go. You never know where the other player is going to go. It's all mind games, especially with penalties.
Yeah, definitely, and we just saw a very uncharacteristic miss there from JMK with Mbappe. The starter step in, down the middle, third time in the row. What is happening with these penalties? I mean, you'd normally expect the penalties to go in your favor, but these guys are just doing such good. The pressure's getting to them, and they're starting to crumble. There's the middle coming straight down for JMK. Get a little bit of disrespect back, and now the pressure's here on Noah JA. Another straight down the middle. And now 2-1. JMK is looking at a very strong position to close out here. He just needs to score this penalty and close out this first game. Let's see if he can save it. He dives the right way. Nicely done there by Noah JA. He must score this penalty in order to carry on the penalty shootout here. Otherwise, he goes down, and that'll be 2-0 in the series. So he's got to hit this, and no, not down the middle. The shot goes wide, and that's JMK closing out the first game. You can see the sigh of relief on his face because he knows the pressure that came onto him there, but the little wry smile, and nicely done by JMK there. It's Noah JA showed up a great fight in that first, but he's still got a chance to come back on the reverse sweep here. What do you think about that first game there, Azilu?
I know how Noah's feeling right now. It's happened to me ever as JMK. Yeah, I know how he's feeling. He's going to be feeling gutted, but he has to pull his head in. He can't do what I did. He has to get refocused. He has to be pretending it's a 0-0. It's a fresh game, and he just has to go into it with full confidence and full belief in himself.
What is it about JMK that makes him so special in these penalty situations?
He's just been there time and time and time again. He knows what he needs to do. He knows the positions he wants to go to. He knows what the opponent is going to do. I don't know how he reads minds, but he manages to do it.
Yeah, but he does manage to do it, and JMK here will be on match point and able to represent New Zealand if he manages to close out this next map. Noah JA will have to complete the reverse sweep 2-0 down, and I mean, he was looking good enough. Maybe he's just a little bit like a rotary engine, just needs a little bit of warm-up and then he'll get into it, but definitely a threat to JMK here. And Azilu, do you think Noah JA needs to change anything up in his game style or in his game plan at all, or would he keep with how he's going at the moment?
I think Noah dominated that game, in full honesty. He just needs to finish it in the first regulation time. He can't leave it to penalties. Yeah. If he leaves it to penalties, he's losing. He
will be losing, and we see JMK there up 2-0, thinking how he's going to play this next game. And we provided this beautiful shot here by the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and it's just a great camera, and it allows you to see more in the dark Auckland night with that nightography, using enhanced AI to capture more detail, brightness, and color in the low light. So for the folks at home watching on Twitch, type !Samsung in the chat to find out more. And I use my Samsung phone at home, and it's perfect. It keeps me going for 2 days whenever I'm at work, and I don't forget to charge it, and it's still good to go. And these boys will be good to go soon as we're jumping into the next game. All the pressure here on Noah JA, and JMK looking to close things out.
It'll be interesting to see if any of them made changes in their lineups. So far, it's looking like they've still got the same lineups. The only difference in their lineups really is Vitinha is playing for Noah, and Renato Sanchez is playing for Josh. These are two different players. One's got speed, strength, and the other is more technical, better passing, which I think fits both these players' preferred play styles.
Yeah, definitely. We like that slow play coming out for Noah JA, and all the pressure's on him to score. And it seems like initially we saw a big lob through ball coming across halfway across the pitch. So Noah JA trying to look to get himself a cheeky first goal on the board because he knows he's up against match point. And if you're JMK here, you're just looking to carry on that slow, methodical game, working your way up the pitch where he's so strong here. But we saw the defense for Noah JA. The shot goes off there and try to get a cheeky one through the back line. But Mbappe, the shot goes right. It's nicely saved, and we'll be going out here for a corner kick. That set piece coming on through.
Yeah, when Mbappe has the ball, Noah really needs to be more urgent on that. He can't let him have the space to do what he wants. If he does that and lets Mbappe, Messi or Neymar have the ball for that amount of time, he's going to struggle. And the same goes for Josh.
Yep, cross comes on through, but just a little bit too wide. Not enough players there. And we see the counter-attack coming on through, but 3 players there converging on Messi to try and counteract the ball. Nicely done there by JMK. And he will try get that back, but the pass not accurate. And now we see Noah JA here on the counter-attack. He's got plenty of players forward to play with. Through ball coming on through to Neymar. And ooh, the defense holds strong here for JMK. He wants to close it out here quickly, but it doesn't matter because the turnover of the ball. And oh, nice challenge there, fighting in the box, but can't quite close things out here as Noah J. He's getting so many opportunities, playing so well, but now decides to reset a little bit here and gather his thoughts.
Yeah, you see this use of Renato Sanchez on Hakimi right here, and that's the main difference between him and Vitinha. On the other team, he just chases the ball. He's like a bulldog. He just goes for it. There's nothing that can stop him really. He's strong. He's fast. He's a defensive presence, and he's going to be a big difference in this midfield compared to Vitinha here, just on the defensive end. On the attacking end, Vitinha is going to be a bit more better for Noah, and that's going to be, I reckon, the difference maker between these two teams.
Yep, definitely. They seem pretty neck and neck here. A little bit of an offside, and if you're Noah here, I mean, you've got the experience now. You're sort of warmed up, and what do you think he learned here from game 1 as Ilu coming into game 2?
I think the main thing he's learning at the moment, you can see he's putting on a lot of pressure. He's attacking heavily at the moment. It's to not leave it to chance, not leave it to penalties. At the end of the day, penalties are a 50-50. Against Josh, maybe a 60-40. And he just can't leave it to those. He has the urgency right now. As you see, he's holding the ball. He doesn't want to lose it. He doesn't want to take too many risks, but he's also taking a lot of risks. It's a nice balance, and I'm loving it. And if he keeps that up, I think he might get the goal and be able to hold on to that and then play defensively, because at the moment his defensive pressure is pretty good, except for that one Mbappe shot earlier in the game.
Yeah, it was showing really well, and the through ball coming on through, and the pass, Mbappe with the shot, and it goes in! Off the leg of JMK's player, and that's Noah J.A. putting himself up 1. JMK might not be able to close it out here against the match points, and Noah J.A. showing that he's still got the mental. He's not letting the pressure go against him on that match point. So he puts himself up 1-0 as we're midway through that first half here. It's nicely done by him. The JMK already on a set piece. He loves to take these shorts, that we've seen in the past. There we go, the short coming on through. And now trying to work back, see if he can claw back that scoreline to get a 1-1, or will Noah J run away with this game?
I think Noah needs to stop pressing as much. He needs to just let Josh fall into him a little bit more, because if he presses, he's going to leave those gaps open. As you see right now, he's playing a bit too risky at the moment, and he's leaving the gaps open when Neymar gets a shot. That's lucky for Donnarumma to get that. That could have been a dangerous opportunity for Josh to score there. And Josh will have more of those opportunities if Noah keeps playing very risky. He just needs to bottle down, sit back a little bit, and he's just letting these through. You can see the nerves are kind of getting to him. He sees his opportunity of clawing back these games. But yeah, it seems like the nerves are getting to him a little bit. He's scared of losing that lead, and you can't be scared against Josh.
Yeah, even though he's 1-up up, it's always more cushy when you're 2-0 up, 3-0 up, because you've got that cushion to play with, and then you can decide to park the bus. And playing a little bit risky here is Noah J.A., but he's now working up the midfield, trying to get the cross in, but I think that nose might be just getting to him as things are looking slightly less clinical. And JMK is starting to hit his stride. We saw 2 shots coming on through earlier, and that 5 at the back not holding as strong as JMK works his way up. One-touch football going back and forth, but ball overturned here, and Ruiz will be working it up the midfield, going back to Old Faithful, Mr. Messi, and now the players start to come forward here for Noah J.A., and through ball goes on through to Mbappe, nicely gets through, but the challenge is there for JMK, and he's going to see if he can try claw back a goal before the end of the first half, or if he's going to go through. Nice lob through ball as we've got Neymar coming out through the wing, and will this be crossed in for a header? No, the challenge is good there, and nice hold by Noah J.A. as ball finally gets cleared out.
Yeah, so you see Fabian Ruiz pushing the ball up here with Neymar. It's nice to see Noah is still attacking a little bit, but I don't think he needs to push this many men forward.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
needs to just hold back a little bit and play it a bit more safe.
Yeah, can create gaps in the defense when you have too many guys forward, and that's what JMK is looking to exploit here. Through ball going to come on through, but Marquinhos is there, and this will be cleared out as we'll go into the end of that first half. 1-0 up for Noah GA, and he's looking pretty good for himself, but you can still see he has to be focused here. He has to dial in. He can't let that lead go away. And if you're JMK, you're looking to get back in here. And as you said, you're wanting to play a bit more defensive now. But I mean, have you heard of that phrase? A good offense is the best defense?
I have heard of that phrase, but it all starts from defense.
Definitely does all start from defense, and if you can hold off here, Noah GA still has a chance to qualify for Romania spot to compete on that international stage. JMK can see if he can claw back into this, and do you think JMK needs to change anything up in his game at the moment, or is good trying to exploit the gaps that Noah GA leaves?
JMK so far has had many more opportunities. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing, keep pressing on Noah when he's in the back line. Noah seems to be struggling, trying to clear the ball a bit too early without looking for his options, and I think that's going to be a massive player here. We could see Josh getting a very lucky goal or a very untidy goal, but it's going to be a goal nonetheless, and I can see it happening quite quickly.
All right, you've called it here with a JMK goal coming in next, but it's Noah who's going to be on the counter-attack here, and quickly turned over by JMK. The defense holds strong. He knows how to use his players extremely well to get those turnovers, and nice one-touch football coming on through here, and as the through ball tries to get through, gets turned over unfortunately, and now Noah GA back with the ball in hand, going to start working up the wing here, and what we'd like to see from him is starting to slow things down, but he's happy to match the pace that JMK is bringing at the moment, and for each player it's just going back and forth, right? It seems like the turnover of the balls consistently happen. Where do you go? What do you change up? Do you try to change the tempo, or do you keep it up?
Honestly, if I'm Josh, I do this.
Yep, you keep it up, and there's Josh. JMK getting one back. Just a nice slide past the goalie. You can see the frustration there on Noah GA's face. He let one go. JMK now bringing it back to 1-1 scoreline, and Noah GA, the nerves are really going to start kicking in now, because you're up against match point here. You're up against your spot for trying to play in Romania, representing the E-Blacks, that you need to buckle down and try close this out. And you said JMK is so prevalent in the penalties that you don't want to take it to penalties here. He needs to get another goal here.
Yes, 100%. He needs to get another goal. You see Josh here. He's calm. He's composed. This is where champions are made. This is where the best are crowned. And it's going to come down to whoever can pull that out of the bag, whether it goes to penalties or not, whether it's in regular time. No one needs to find something here. He needs to stay calm. He's played a bit more hectic after his first goal, but you see now he's got an opportunity. He's got a lot of wide space. It's a 2-on-3, but never count out Messi. Fabian Ruiz now to Mbappe.
Yep, and the shot goes off on target, and there's Neymar. No, going into the side of the net, not able to close that out. Noah GA fighting for his spot in that national E-Black spot, representing Aotearoa, and hoping that he can hold on just a little bit longer, whereas JMK looking to close things out here for his chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to Iași, Romania, where they will be playing in the International Esports Federation World Games, and representing, trying to prove that they are the best from the team of 5 million here as we get back underway after that throw-in, and we're hoping to see something change for Noah GA so he can carry on in this game, as he's starting to lose that slickness that he had in the first half. I mean, if you're Noah GA, what do you do now? Do you try change up the game plan, or do you carry on with this tempo?
If you're Noah, you have to play aggressive, regardless of the risk, just because this is your elimination game. You've seen what Josh can do in penalties. You've seen what he can do in game. You would take your chances in game rather than penalties. He needs to find this shot, find this opportunity, and it seems like he's going to find it.
The shot just goes wide for Mbappe, coming off the goalkeeper's leg there, and it's a really nice attempt there for Noah J. A little bit unlucky, and it does mean he's set up for a set piece. Let's see how much he's practiced this. I mean, these boys will practice their set pieces so often in game, and here we go. The header coming out through for Mbappe, but no, it just goes over the top, and we'll go out for a goal kick. Josh will be able to clear this out. So heading neck and neck as we're getting into the nitty-gritty. We've got 15 minutes left here of regulation time, and we're looking to see someone score. Otherwise, we'll go back to penalties.
Yeah, Noah, has to be using his wing backs a little bit more. He just needs to take that risk of the 3 at the back, even if it means that Josh is going to have opportunities like that. He just needs to take the risk. He can't afford to go to penalties again. I know we keep saying this, but it's true.
Yeah, JMK here nicely in the box. Oh, ball gets turned over, unfortunately. And oh, nice tackle. Here comes Hedges with the ball coming back in the one touch. No, not quite there. Noah JA holding on for a little bit of life, but JMK applying so much pressure here in the forward box. One touch coming back out, the through ball, the shot goes off, and that goes in. Bottom left corner, nicely done there by JMK. 9 minutes left now in regulation time, and you can see him there looking confident. He's got that focused look on his face. He knows now that he just needs to park the bus and defend for the last 8 minutes left in regulation time, and he will be crowned the national champion here for eFootball. Noah J.A., he needs to now go all-out attack here, try and claw something back, but no, JMK holds on strong. And what do you do if you're Noah here, Zilu?
You just have to go for it. You've got no other opportunity, no other choice. This is the one chance to cement yourself in the history of New Zealand esports and eFootball history. It's going to come down to a nail biter. There's about 3 minutes left in regular time, right?
Yeah, no, if you're JMK, you can just keep holding on to possession. You don't need to do anything too aggressive. Just try play out that time, wind that clock down, because in 1 minute, if you manage to hold on here, you will be going to Romania to see if Noah J.A. can keep his competition alive for himself. But Noah gets cleared out back into the midfield, and JMK back with the possession, and he's going to clear it out and maybe just park the bus here in the corner. And Ruiz going to see what he does. He's going to go for another goal. Oh, just going over the top of the crossbar, and it seems like that will be the end of the game. Congratulations there to JMK. You see the sigh of relief on his face as he knows he's closed things out and put himself for 1 more year back in the national EVAC squad. All right, and
you can see Noah's face. He looks disappointed in himself. He shouldn't be. He gave a great fight.
Yeah,
in all honesty.
He gave a great fight. We see the handshakes there for both players, and JMK, nicely done by him, closing that out in a convincing victory, getting 2 games there. Quick cheeky 3-0 for him, and it's really good to see your previous champion coming back and showing that he's still got it, he's still here to play, showing that experience coming on through. And Azilu, I mean, you said this back last time, you're showing how good JMK was, and this was the expected outcome. Is there anything that's developed about his game from last year that you've seen?
Yes, 100%. He's learned all the skill moves in the game. He's learned more quick passing. He just looks like a completely better player than when I played him last time. And I have no doubt he's going to continue his dominance on the world stage, especially in Romania.
Thank you very much, Azilu, and we do have to say farewell to you. And we're talking about representing New Zealand esports. We're joined with the CEO of New Zealand esports, Jonathan Jansen, the real Arcadian. And for you, this is our first player now induced into the E-Blacks tonight. And how do you feel about that, JMK coming back and getting his crown again?
Super proud of Josh for what he just managed to accomplish. Man, what a fantastic game. I can't get over what a great and close game that was the whole way through. I can't wait to get Josh on the line so we can have an interview with him, because I've got questions I want to ask him about how he was feeling about that whole thing. But I mean, it was just so close, and Noah did so well. But on paper, you know, it was a 2-0 for Josh, or a 3-0 for Josh, and so that was fantastic. But we've got Josh ready in the studio. Josh, you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
How are you feeling? I look always calm. What were you feeling in the moment when Noah was 1-up in that second match there?
Yeah, I was getting a little bit nervy. I didn't think I played too well in either of the games, to be honest. Noah put off a good game, and yeah, once I got that equaliser back, I felt pretty comfortable again. It's never good trailing in this game, but yeah, was very happy to turn it around and get the win.
How do you stay so calm and collected in those situations where you're 1-0 down? You know you've got to try claw yourself back into the game, but you can't get too aggressive, otherwise you produce gaps in your own defense.
Yeah, I think as long as I know there's time on the clock, then I just need one goal back. I just have to keep playing the way I know I can, and then, yeah, the goal will come, hopefully, and it did, so it was good.
Well, we know him as eFootball, eJMK, eGamer, Josh. But look, final question for you, Joshua. I just want to get your thoughts. Is that, do you have any words for Noah as your competitor? You know, he did a fantastic job. Any final thoughts from you?
No, I came into the game quite confident today, and Noah put up a great game. It was really tough couple of games there, and it really could have gone either way, especially on the penalty shootout. So, yeah, credit to him.
Well, and thank you for keeping us on the edge of our seats the entire time with such a fantastic game. Congratulations again for making it into the 2023 squad. Have a Red Bull, it'll give you some wings, but the other kind of wings you'll be getting is on your way to Romania to represent New Zealand. And so congratulations. We look forward to working with you for the rest of the year on our campaign. But that is it for eFootball. That's the end of the road for now. But wait, we will be right back after the break as Tekken kicks off another exciting series. And so do not go anywhere.
No! Oh, come on! I would have won if it hadn't been for the lag.
Now you'll need a better excuse. Hyper-fast reaction times, hyper-powerful performance, hyper-impressive capacity. Hyperfiber, the ultimate in internet.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Wow.
Wait, is that a phone? Look at the performance, the graphics. That thing's a gaming machine. A new challenger. Is that Faker? That man's a gaming legend. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. And here we go!
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her, you can save her.
If you come this far, then you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Kia ora whanau, that guy Zeno here, joined by the grand finale that is Timprovise as we head into the final 2 episodes for The Last of Us, and now streaming on Neon, episodes 8 and 9. And Tim, what do you think?
The light right there, the firefly is fluttering at the end of the tunnel, and we're right there, brother.
If we leave her out here, she'll die.
Now with episode 8, we've come off the back end of episode 7, where Joel is still recovering from a grave injury. This has led to Ellie having to be the hunter for the pair, and she runs into a couple of people known as David and James, who come from a community that might not be what they think they are.
It's creepy. It gives the culty vibes.
Yeah, it does. Episode 9 sees Joel and Ellie finally resume their journey and finally end up at the location they're trying to reach, which is the Firefly headquarters.
There's a lot of brutal stuff that went down, and it's absolutely brilliant and beautiful.
We also like to talk about our memorable moments. So what would those be for you in episode 8 and 9?
One of the things that I really loved was the maturity level of Ellie from when we first met her to now. And the one moment that clicks with me is when Joel tries to give her an out. Because I think Joel's worried. He's like, man, what if something happens to her? It's out of my control. And in episode 9, be like, no. We got to finish this.
It's really cool that we kind of actually get to see why Ellie's resistant. With that small throwback to her mother, we finally see the return of Marlene and how she ties into Ellie's story, because of course in episode 1 she did say she was there for Ellie's birth, and now we see her at the end being confronted by Joel and his reckoning almost. It's a reckoning as he moves through that building.
It's a beautiful journey, and I cannot wait for season 2.
Yep, it has been renewed for a whole new season. But of course, you can watch the entirety of season 1 right now on Neon. You can grab yourself a 7-day trial by signing up at neontv.co.nz. Boom, you will be fulfilled. You'll be part of the Last of Us community.
You won't want to leave after that, though. Neon's killing it.
Exactly. I have still been that guy Xenoj, and I've been joined by the grand finale. That is Timprovise. Until next time, ka kite.
Now you'll need a better excuse. Hyper-fast reaction times, hyper-powerful performance, hyper-impressive capacity. Hyperfiber, the ultimate in internet.
Kia ora and welcome back everybody to the 2023 E-Blacks National Selection. If you're just joining us, my name is Jonathan Arcadian Jansen. I'm here with Vera Modi, Mr. Rochester, as we discover who will represent New Zealand on the world stage for esports as a New Zealand E-Black. Now, we have just finished our first match of tonight with eFootball, but this entire broadcast is being brought to you thanks to Hyperfiber. And so if you want a chance to win a year's worth of Hyperfiber, then you can type in the chat, !Hyperfiber to get the link. The Ultimate Gaming Pack includes a headset, mouse, keyboard, and a year's worth of Hyperfiber, which is like 8 gigabit up and down connection on their biggest speed. It is fantastic, and it's what fuels our gamers here at the Sky Tower and all across the country. And so do have your chance to get involved. But man, after the Hyperfiber, what a hyper game that was with eFootball, incredibly close.
Such a close game there. I mean, JMK really had to sweat and work for it. We saw pressure being applied there by Noah JA consistently throughout the match and taking it to penalties that first game and not able to close it out there. JMK showing that he's still the king when it comes to penalties. And then that second map where Noah JA was up so good, but then started letting the nerves get to him because he knew he was up there against match point. And you can see there's new to that environment, and that previous experience that JMK has just proves so invaluable in these kind of high pressure situations.
You look at his face during those games and you see a lot of like disappointment in Noah, but he did so fantastically well. He was the young one coming in against, you know, all odds stacked against him with JMK King, not only the former E-Black, but also with a 1-game advantage through his online qualifier victories. And so it was a massive task today, and he did absolutely fantastic. Like you said, JMK King, he is still the king, and he will be heading to Romania to represent New Zealand on the world stage. He did a fantastic job in 2022 against former world champion countries with Brazil, the Netherlands, and many, many more. And we look forward to seeing what he can do, what damage he can do on the world stage. But with eFootball coming to an end, we roll into what I'm so excited about with Tekken.
I mean, the Tekken qualifier, there have been players from Auckland, from Hamilton, at Christchurch and Wellington, all trying to fight it out for that top 1 spot here in New Zealand, trying to show off that they are the best player at this esports title. And the fighting game community so tight here in Aotearoa. They're small, but they're so passionate about the game, and all the players know each other here, because all the ones that show up to the tournament, whilst they battled out in the heat of the competition afterwards, they know that, okay, we're going to go have a little bit of kai afterwards and enjoy the scene. And it's nice to see that camaraderie here in New Zealand, and that's just the culture that we bring here in New Zealand, isn't it? Where you can still compete at the highest level, but you also have that camaraderie, knowing that you come from that same background and culture.
I do love how tight-knit the fighting game community was, and like you said, they had regional qualifiers all the way across the country. The top 8 were here this morning, which you've just seen competing for the qualifiers until we get to the top 2. So we had the representatives from across the country here this morning, to reiterate, and they all battled it out. Only 2 of them get onto the show tonight, which we'll see the match very, very shortly, and only 1 of them will be securing their ticket to Romania as an E-Black. So who are the 2 finalists for tonight? Well, let's take a look.
So my real name is Chris, and my in-game name is Mysterious River, and I play Tekken 7. I am a long-term Tekken player. My first Tekken game was Tekken 5 DR, and that was I think I started in 2006. And ever since then, I've been a competitive player.
My name is Nicholas Isaac. I go by Kuro, and I play Tekken 7. It's gonna take heaps. It's gonna take heaps out of me, because with the character that Mysterious River plays, his character is a very strong character compared to my character, considering that also that I need to reset the bracket as well.
I think if I just play like how I usually play and keep myself calm, because my opponent Kuro, I am very familiar with his style. I play him almost every week. He's one of our Fight Club members, so I know him very well. If I can just keep myself calm and stick to my original plan, I should be able to defeat him.
It would be like an amazing honor to like represent New Zealand on the international stage, and yeah, and just show the international stage what we got.
I am very excited because I've been in this situation a couple of times, but I was unable to secure it and to be the representative. So this time I think since I've already made this far, I'm gonna try my best. It'll mean a lot to me. And I do want to represent my country in Romania.
And there you have it, Mysterious River on his road to redemption, and Kuro coming through as a little bit of the underdog in this, but good friends, good vibes all around, and we're going to see tonight who is going to be the E-Black champion. And I just want to touch on two things that Mysterious River brought up during his interview just then, is that one, New Zealand has such a vibrant fighting game community, and we do so well on the international stage.
I know for a small country, the team of 5 million, we produce some of the best fighting players here in the world, not just in Tekken, but in all disciplines as well. For example, Street Fighter. And if you don't know too much about fighting games, it's generally just such technical skill and the timing on your combos and the amount that you have to put through. And we'll see that technical skill coming on through as we see these two players going head to head here. And let's see how they stack up against each other.
And so there you have it. We've got Mysterious River and Kuro, and their ranks, win rates, how much they've won. And as you can see, Mysterious River's been in the scene for a very long time. He's got a nice big winnings under his belt. His main character is Feng, and he's versing Lars on Kuro. Kuro's a little bit worried. Lars into Feng, not a huge matchup.
No, not a huge matchup. Keep in mind, Lars a little bit less of a well-known pick though, but Mysterious River has got so much experience in the game. He'll know how to play any one of those. And Feng, a very common character to play. So Kuro will also know the strengths that Feng can bring, and because they practice against each other so much, they'll also be aware of everyone's tendencies and how they like to feign, how they like to whiff punish, etc. So it'll definitely be a good thing to see here. So
it will.
Looking.
And they're coming in from Hamilton, both these representatives. We had Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington all here today, and the online qualifiers. So to see two Hamilton boys in the final is quite good for our expert analyst, Dean, who hails from Hamilton. He'll be our in-game expert for this game with you, Rochester. And so let's get into the action.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. And hello on the cast. Welcome, Dean. I hope you are excited to see these two players. Are you excited as I am?
I am incredibly excited. I'm so happy just to, have this opportunity and to be able to see my two boys representing Hamilton, Mysterious River and Kuro, being able to, show their stuff, show what all of their practice has sort of come down to. I think this is going to be an incredible showcase of New Zealand Tekken.
And can you just give us a little bit of a backstory to Mysterious River, also known as Rambo, and as well to Kuro, who might be that new and inexperienced player?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Rambo's been in the scene since day dot. He's been playing Tekken for, I was probably in primary school when he was playing Tekken. I mean, I was playing too, but I wasn't very good. He was on top from the very start. I mean, he's made it here today. He's never sort of won that major title, so I think this is going to be his opportunity to finally claim that sort of, championship that he's been gunning for so long.
Yeah, that's
major
the man
events
on your
have come
screen
and gone,
there.
Yeah, it's been tough. But Kuro can take it to him. Kuro's the person that actually, eliminated him down in Hamilton at the qualifier, and so they're facing off again. Mysterious River coming through on the winner's side this time around, Kuro on losers. So if Mysterious River can win 3 games here, the tournament is over. And if Kuro can win 3, we're going back for another best of 5 set. But let's get into it.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're looking at this Feng versus Lars matchup, is there anything that you expect to see that will be standard, or do you need to play a bit differently here on Lars?
Ooh, I'm not sure what's happening to start things off. But I mean, when it comes to this sort of matchup, while they get that kind of, sorted out, something going wrong with the sound it seems, but Lars has a lot more sort of range than Feng does. Essentially, Feng is kind of a bit more stubby, but when he gets up in your face, it's buttons, buttons, buttons. You got to find a way out, and Mysterious River is really good at just smothering you with that pressure. So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. You can see a lot of adaptation is going to be going on as the set plays out, and I can't call it. I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, it'll definitely be exciting to see, and we just have a little bit of technical difficulties here, and we'll take that as a moment to shout out our lovely sponsors here. We do have Samsung providing such great photography here with the S23 Ultra, that perfect 200 megapixel response, and that beautiful night photography that it provides is just such a wonderful experience for anyone if you're on holiday, if you're on photos, and especially if you're looking to get those perfect gaming shots with those high refresh rate video cameras as well. So love to see that from them. And we'll also take a moment just to shout out Neon, that video streaming services are brought to you by the Kiwis who are handpicked for you. And we do have one of the best shows there on released. That was The Last of Us there. Part 1 just came out. We watched it, had a great full of a time, and now the anticipation is super high for Part 2. And I'm sure for you, Dean, the anticipation will be high as well, but also for the game.
Of course, man. I mean, a pause like this can be tough to start things off, but once we get into it, you're going to forget that even happened. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredulous. And I was trying to think of something else that kind of sounded simpler, but I can't think of anything. It's just going to be really good. So,
nothing simple describes these two players, and we will be throwing just to a quick simple ad break, but don't go anywhere as we will be getting right back into the action very shortly.
Now you'll need a better excuse. Hyper-fast reaction times, hyper-powerful performance, hyper-impressive capacity. Hyperfiber, the ultimate in internet.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Wow.
Wait, is that a phone? Look at the performance, the graphics. That thing's a gaming machine. A new challenger. Is that Faker? That man's a gaming legend. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. And here we go.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You come this far, and you know it's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Kia ora whanau, that guy's NOJ here, joined by the grand finale that is Timprovise as we head into the final 2 episodes for The Last of Us, and now streaming on Neon, episodes 8 and 9. And Tim, what do you think?
The light right there, the firefly is fluttering at the end of the tunnel, and we're right there, brother.
If we leave her out here, she'll die.
Now with episode 8, we've come off the back end of episode 7, where Joel is still recovering from a grave injury. This has led to Ellie having to be the hunter for the pair, and she runs into a couple of people known as David and James, who come from a community that might not be what they think they are.
It's creepy. It gives the culty vibes.
Yeah, it does. Episode 9 sees Joel and Ellie finally resume their journey and finally end up at the location they're trying to reach, which is the Firefly headquarters.
There's a lot of brutal stuff that went down, and it's absolutely brilliant and beautiful.
We also like to talk about our memorable moments. So what would those be for you in episode 8 and 9?
One of the things that I really loved was the maturity level of Ellie from when we first met her to now. And the one moment that clicks with me is when Joel tries to give her an out. Because I think Joel's worried. He's like, man, what if something happens to her? It's out of my control. And in episode 9, be like, no. We got to finish this.
It's really cool that we kind of actually get to see why Ellie's resistant. With that small throwback to her mother, we finally see the return of Marlene and how she ties into Ellie's story, because of course in episode 1 she did say she was there for Ellie's birth, and now we see her at the end being confronted by Joel and his reckoning almost. It's a reckoning as he moves through that building.
It's a beautiful journey, and I cannot wait for season 2.
Yep, it has been renewed for a whole new season, but of course you can watch the entirety of season 1 right now on Neon. You can grab yourself a 7-day trial by signing up at neontv.co.nz. Boom, you will be fulfilled. You'll be part of the Last of Us community.
You won't want to leave after that though. Neon's killing it.
Exactly. I have still been that guy XenoJ, and I've been joined by the grand finale. That is Timprovised. Until next time, ka kite.
Now you'll need a better excuse. Hyper-fast reaction times, hyper-powerful performance, hyper-impressive capacity. Hyperfiber, the ultimate in internet.
Kia ora tātou, everyone. Welcome back to our New Zealand National Esports Qualifier. I'm joined by Dean Mason, Mr. Ara Sensei here on the cast. And Dean, we're getting into this Tekken 7 Grand Final. Are you excited as I am?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to get into it. I mean, there was a little bit of a delay at the start, but, you know, it's not going to matter. They're going to get straight into it, and it's going to be some absolute... it's going to be a slobber knocker. I think it's going to be pretty fun. Pretty fun to watch. It's going to be a good time, and I just can't wait to crown the champion. It's a big deal. I think it'll be the first time that either of these two have won sort of a major event here in New Zealand. So let's see who can take it out. We're getting into it. Mysterious River with the Fengwei, Kuro with the last.
Yeah, definitely get underway here. Immediately starting off the bat is both players deciding to get pretty active here, as you were saying beforehand.
Yes, indeedy. Okay, Kuro's starting to use that stance transition, allows him to sort of go in. If he lands the hit, sweet as, he can keep on going. If he doesn't land the hit, he can back off. So, a bit of a cheeky strategy. Mysterious River got some of those sort of tricks of his own. There's the launcher. Nicely done. He's going to kill here. Yes, he can.
Yeah, really nicely done there by Rambo. Yeah, definitely, and sort of comboing straight off that launch is nicely done. And, immediately launch back here for Kuro. It's a nice showing for him, doing some good damage here onto Mysterious River.
Really good call out on the low attempt from Mysterious River. It's allowed him to add up a lot of damage. Mysterious River with a life deficit is going to be tough to bring it back when Kuro's comboing you from wall to wall. He's going to be able to finish this here. Boom! Just like that.
Yeah, straight answer back there by Kuro. One apiece at the moment, and both players looking like they're really bringing their all here.
Yeah, this is a strategy that Kuro put to great effect down in Hamilton at the qualifier. He really likes to use that attack that sort of allowed him to get in and then back off. Mysterious River still not entirely sure how to deal with it. Kuro looking unstoppable right now, but Mysterious River always can find a way out.
Yeah, definitely can, especially with the Rage there. Has a couple extra moves. Go, there's the Rage Act, but no, not quite getting enough damage there. But Mysterious River now coming back into the round.
Counter hit. Mysterious River finding the opportunity to just get Kuro away from him, but Kuro says that's all right.
Yeah, Kuro now managing to get himself 2-0 up, and he needs to make sure that he wins this game, because if he doesn't win this game, then there won't be a bracket reset, and Mysterious River will be crowned the champion. Mysterious River has a little bit of a buffer here because he has gone flawless in the qualifier.
Exactly. So Mysterious River only needs 3 games to win this tournament. Kuro needs to win 6 in total to be able to take this out. So we could be in for a long night of Tekken, because Kuro is looking pretty strong here. Manages to get that low. Mysterious River goes in with the Rage Drive. The Rage is gone. The blue stuff is absolutely disappeared. Goes for the toe tap. He's backed off again. Mysterious River does not chase him down. Cost him. Kuro could take this out if he plays this carefully. He's trying to get that low, and he gets the mid.
Yeah, really nice play by Kuro. Both players on such a low HP there, and really nice just playing out and having their patience, waiting for the right time to strike. So Kuro managing to close things out there, and he's looking strong. Is this just one of the strengths of the Lars, or is Kuro here just bringing his A game?
Kuro is absolutely bringing his A game. He has been practicing a lot for this very moment. And, you know, Mysterious River has been sort of struggling against this character in the past. You know, you saw that winners finals earlier today on Flightless, and it was a 3-0 for Rambo, but that doesn't mean that it was easy because these guys have had some pretty close sets in the past. And Kuro, to start things off here, it's going to be a very close set, I reckon.
Yeah, and when you're Kuro and you're going up against someone like Rambo who's got all this experience in the community, does that add a little bit of pressure, just knowing that this guy is so famed in the New Zealand community for FGC? So how do you overcome those nerves if you're a player going up against one of the best players in the region?
It's tough. I think you really just have to focus on the game rather than the player. You know, it's a problem that can sometimes arise when, you know, we're a small country, and then even within the small country we've got some big fish. But, you know, even the big fish can be beaten, and Kuro's done it before, so he just has to keep that in mind. Starting off strong.
Yeah,
big damage at the ball.
Nicely done, but then Mysterious River counters back, and they'll definitely be looking to see how they're playing. They're just going neck and neck here, Dean.
Exactly. Kuro manages to get that counter hit once again. Mysterious River trying to push buttons against Kuro's advantage, and Kuro is able to close that round out. He's able to keep that spacing the way that he wants to. He's able to sort of stop Mysterious River from getting anything started here. Mysterious River, though, is starting to pile on that pressure, the typical Rambo style. Piles on the pokes, gets a lot of damage on the board, maybe backs off, and then runs straight back in again.
And if you're at home and you're a viewer watching this and you're not too sure too much about fighting games and how to play, could you just give a brief description about sort of what you do and how you sort of approach a game like this?
Yeah, there's kind of a lot to talk about. I think Tekken's a pretty multifaceted sort of game. The basic concept, get the opponent's life down to 0, but the way that you can do it, there are a lot of different ways. Mainly it's a lot of either rushing in, keeping the distance and waiting for your opponent to make a mistake. And just like that, Kuro not watching his toes, pushing a button and getting a counter hit for it. So yeah, a lot going on. Even it might not look like a lot, but there is a lot going on. These cogs inside their brains are at full force.
And you trying to predict what the other person can come up with, but there's no predicting when Rambo just hits the combo to the wall. Nicely done, and it looks like he'll close out this round pretty convincingly.
Yeah, once you get put into a combo, if you've flown up into the air, you cannot get out. You have to wait until that combo is over. And that's the way that you can add up a lot of damage. You see these players, though, they sort of like to chip away at each other, just like that. Kuro landing a low poke to the toes. The Air Jordans are getting scuffed from Mysterious River. But that's kind of the way that you can add up the damage and make your opponent start to make some mistakes. They want to get that life back, you know?
And is that one of the strengths there of the character that Mysterious River has picked the Fang with those toe pokes, just constantly adding a little bit of oppression?
Yeah, extremely fast buttons. He can keep on going. He has a kind of uncharacteristic sort of mid attack. Most characters obviously, well, every character has a high, mid, and a low, all sorts of different types of moves. And Mysterious River makes great use of that low there to close out game number 2.
Yeah, nicely done there by Mysterious River, closing that one out. So now we're tied at 1 apiece. So making sure that he showing the experience that he has, you know, a little bit of a shaky start, just trying to warm back up into things. But as you play through the game, do you feel like you get more of a read on your opponent and what their game plan is?
That's the goal for sure. So of course you don't want to allow yourself to start getting steamrolled by what your opponent's putting out. You know, a really key strength in this game is adaptation. You've got to watch what the opponent's doing, watch what am I getting hit by, what am I landing, and how can I sort of keep that momentum going. So there's a lot to consider. Every moment in the game, there's probably like 1,000 different decisions going on in the players' heads. So it's the ability to sort of keep it clear, keep it concise, start to form a coherent game plan, and that's the way that you can make your way to victory. But we're going to a different stage now. No walls to deal with, nothing but open sky and white snow.
Yeah, and how will that change up how these guys play? Will it change it up at all, with it knowing that there's no wall?
It will. So, of course, having no walls means that a lot of opportunities for damage are gone. It kind of allows also to have a lot of extra distance away from the opponent, allow a lot of extra space that can allow you to get that breathing room, or to just stop your opponent from sort of, smothering you with pokes the way that Mysterious River likes to do. So it's a smart choice from Kuro to pick this stage.
Yeah, nicely done here. Players looking neck and neck as we're just trading back a few highs here, but it seems like they're feinting a lot more than they were on the previous stage.
Just a bit. I mean, there's so much distance to work with. You got to find the perfect spacing. And oh no way, he got hit by the regular grab.
Regular grab. Not something that you'd expect. Not something that you expect to see with these high-level players, but maybe it's the pressure, the stakes, because these guys will be qualifying for a spot to win their trip to Romania, and maybe that pressure is just a little bit too much for Kuro as that unexperienced guy coming in, whereas Rambo seems to be on a steamroll here.
He really is. He's found his footing for sure. He's able to see exactly where Kuro is struggling, and he's capitalizing on it. But Kuro is potentially able to find a way out. Mysterious River ends his turn with that mid, but he's so backed up. He's trying to find his way back in. Kuro, though, is the one that needs to make something happen. He's the one who's more likely to take a risk here.
Yeah, low on HP though, has the rage available, but no, gonna try counter-attack here. It's nicely done. The combo's looking good.
A dropped combo though, where it counts the most. That's a tough one. Kuro is down 2 rounds here, but anything can happen. He can bring it back. That is not going to be a way to do it though. Mysterious River getting the launch punish. Certain moves can be punished by huge damage attacks, just like that one. Kuro is really struggling here.
Yeah. Mysterious River seems like he's really hit his stride, and a perfect there to close things out on game 2. Nicely done by him, and now Mysterious River, he's very calm in the driver's seat here for this game.
He's calm, he's collected, and he's 1 game away from becoming the New Zealand ISF representative here at the LPL studio.
And if you're Kuro here, is there anything that you need to change about your current game plan and approach, or do you just carry on what you're doing and hope that you see some mistakes coming out here for Mysterious River?
I think Kuro's starting to get a little bit flustered, and he's sort of taking some sort of unnecessary risks, so he just sort of needs to tone it down a little bit and make it so that Rambo is the one to start sort of messing up here.
Yeah, and there's Mysterious River there on your screen. That's brought to you with the Samsung Galaxy S23 smartphone. It has the most powerful chip on a Galaxy smartphone, that Ultra, so it improves features across the board, means everything from gaming to streaming, and it's optimized for seamless performance without draining the battery. I use my Samsung phone every day, and I'm so happy with it because I can forget to charge it, and it's still good to go for the next game. So use !Samsung in the chat to find out a little bit more. And these boys, it seems like they'll be finding out more about each other as we're going to another different stage.
We love Samsung out here, and we love good New Zealand Tekken, and this could potentially be the last game, so let's get into it. Kuro starting to make a move, push Mysterious River all the way to the wall. The walls are back. Can he make the most of it? Starting to use that shoe shine, but Mysterious River sidestepping.
Yeah, nice launch, the combo down the bottom stage there, and nice low coming on through. And we're now starting to get a little bit more feinty as players start to figure out how they want to play against each other here.
So much hesitation. Goodness see, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. There's so much going on here. It is so ridiculously hype. Mysterious River finding some hits, getting the back turn schmicks up, hitting him with the low. Kuro is hesitating so much. He's backed up against the wall. He's in a dire position, and Mysterious River capitalizes once again.
Yeah, he's 2 rounds away now from being crowned that New Zealand E-Black champion. Kuro really needs to bring himself back into this. Oh no, the counter is really nice there by Mysterious River. Kuro launches Mysterious River, and now nice combo by him.
Huge opportunity, and the side switch as well. Puts himself back onto a favorable position. Sometimes you can't move as well on the opposite side. So Kuro gets himself back onto the player 1 position. Let's see how he works with that. Mysterious River being put on the back foot here, just barely.
Yeah, Mysterious River now low on HP. Kuro, this could be his chance to close things out here, but it's a nice low there, and the low launch into the combo, and now we'll get with the finisher. Beautiful stuff.
It was a guess for game situation, and Kuro guessed wrong. Mysterious River is 1 round away from going to Romania. Can he do it? That's a strong way to start.
Yeah, definitely a really strong away, and Kuro though still showing that he's got a little bit of life left in. Nice launch to the wall there, so going to show that he's definitely got something, and nice combos coming on through. Sakura not back out of it. His back's up against the wall, but he puts Mysterious River up in the wall that round, so showing that he's still got some life left in him.
Kuro starting to cash in on those big lows, going for the Hell Sweepianas, going for the command grabs, and it's all working out. Gets that mid to Mysterious River's absolute cranium, and it is all going Kuro's way until that happens. Commentator's curse. I am so sorry, Kuro, but Mysterious River's going to get hella damage on the board. Back turn Schmicks. That's a counter hit. Kuro gets for game situation.
Oh, it's so close here, but Kuro needs to try stay alive, has the rage pops, and maybe able to try get a launch into a combo, but no. Oh, it's so close. Kuro, now there's the launch. He's coming back in. He's so clutch here, and the fades, the combo, he's keeping going back to the other wall.
And that is it. Just like that, Kuro has been taken out. Mysterious River is the champion. The first time he has won a tournament of this caliber, and it's one of the tournaments that has the count the most here in New Zealand. So, yeah, congratulations to Rambo.
Yeah, lovely stuff there by Rambo, showing, and just look at the players. They know each other so well, and this is the thing about the fighting game community. They're such good friends here in Aotearoa. Chris, Mr. Mysterious River, Mr. Rambo will be crowned and inducted into the New Zealand E-Backs playing for there. You can see the smiles on his face and a little prayer there, and we will be so happy for this. And was this the expected outcome that you had here, Dean?
Well, I mean, once we got to this grand finals, yes, but before that, heading into this top 8, yeah, Mysterious River was not the favorite. There was a player called Yumi who went home in 4th place today, who everybody kind of thought was going to take this out. It was the most recent national champion, but Mysterious River gave him the beatdown, made it here to the grand finals, and he was able to take it out. He's been working for this for a really, really long time. He's had so much legacy experience, so, you know, he's well-deserved. Well-deserved.
Yeah, definitely well-deserved, and we've been going hard here. We will be going straight to a little ad break, but don't go anywhere. We've still got to come back for those player interviews, so we'll peace out and see you very shortly.
Now you'll need a better excuse. Hyper-fast reaction times, hyper-powerful performance, hyper-impressive capacity. Hyperfiber, the ultimate in internet.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Wow.
Wait, is that a phone? Look at the performance, the graphics. That thing's a gaming machine. A new challenger. Is that Faker? That man's a gaming legend. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. And here we go.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Kia ora whanau, that guy Zeno here, joined by the grand finale that is Timprovise as we head into the final 2 episodes for The Last of Us, and now streaming on Neon, episodes 8 and 9. And Tim, what do you think?
The light right there, the firefly is fluttering at the end of the tunnel, and we're right there, brother.
If we leave her out here, she'll die.
Now with episode 8, we've come off the back end of episode 7, where Joel is still recovering from a grave injury. This has led to Ellie having to be the hunter for the pair, and she runs into a couple of people known as David and James, who come from a community that might not be what they think they are.
It's creepy. It gives the culty vibes.
Yeah, it does. Episode 9 sees Joel and Ellie finally resume their journey and finally end up at the location they're trying to reach, which is the Firefly headquarters.
There's a lot of brutal stuff that went down, and it's absolutely brilliant and beautiful.
We also like to talk about our memorable moments, so what would those be for you in episode 8 and 9?
One of the things that I really loved was the maturity level of Ellie from when we first met her to now. And the one moment that clicks with me is when Joel tries to give her an out, because I think Joel's worried. He's like, man, what if something happens to her? It's out of my control. And in episode 9, be like, no, we got to finish this.
It's really cool that we kind of actually get to see why Ellie's resistant. With that small throwback to her mother, we finally see the return of Marlene and how she ties into Ellie's story, because of course in episode 1 she did say she was there for Ellie's birth, and now we see her at the end being confronted by Joel and his reckoning almost. It's a reckoning as he moves through that building.
It's a beautiful journey, and I cannot wait for season 2.
Yep, it has been renewed for a whole new season, but of course you can watch the entirety of season 1 right now on Neon. You can grab yourself a 7-day trial by signing up at neontv.co.nz. Boom, you will be fulfilled. You'll be part of the Last of Us community.
You won't want to leave after that though. Neon's killing it.
Exactly. I have still been that guy Xenaj, and I've been joined by the grand finale. That is Timprovise. Until next time, ka kite.
Now you'll need a better excuse. Hyper-fast reaction times, hyper-powerful performance, hyper-impressive capacity. Hyperfiber, the ultimate in internet.
Kia ora and good evening everybody, and welcome back to the New Zealand E-Blacks national selection. If you're just joining us, my name is Jonathan Arcadian Jansen here with Mr. Rochester, as we have just concluded the Tekken 7 qualifier, and we have found our E-Black for 2023. Now, but just before we get onto an interview with them, I want to give a shout out to our in-game expert, Dean or Ada Sensei from the fighting game community, who was with us tonight. He was broadcasting the game. It was a fantastic influence on the whole thing, and I just really want to put it out there, Dean. We appreciate everything you did, because of the effort that he put in from Hamilton, they actually had 2 representatives come through the Hamilton seed, and so if it wasn't for him, maybe Mysterious River wouldn't have even qualified, and now he has come through and taken out the championship, and I believe we have Mysterious River ready for an interview. Congratulations, Chris, you finally won an elusive major.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am overwhelmed. I'm so excited.
And as a major win, you finally got it. But now as an E-Black, and knowing that you're going to be heading to Romania to represent New Zealand, what does it mean for you?
I think it means a lot for me personally, because I've played this game for 18 years, and this basically was my first major win, and I got to represent my country, and that just means a lot to me, and it means a lot to my friends, my family, as well as the community.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about the New Zealand esports community here in FGC, and can you just tell us a little bit about the community vibes that you guys have going on? Because all the players know each other so well. How do you still have such good camaraderie, but also bring the highest level of competition here on the stage?
Sure. So we're a very nice, inclusive community here, and we're divided into Auckland, Hamilton, Wellington, and Christchurch mainly. And in each region, we have organizers who would organize tournaments every like weekly or fortnightly, and that's how we get people to come in and practice against each other and improve together.
Fantastic. And I think that's just a testament to how well you have been performing, and as an entire community. Now, can you just give us a little bit of insight? Well, actually, let's scratch that. We've seen how fantastic you've been doing. Do you have anything that you want to say to your supporters and your family now that you've got this fantastic accolade of being an E-Black?
Sure, I just want to thank you everybody who have supported me. I really appreciate all of your support. And yeah, shout out to Arashi Sensei for organizing the whole thing, and shout out to all the players in this top 8.
And thanks to the fighting game community for being there and supporting us on the journey the entire time. Congratulations once again, Mysterious River. We are proud of you, and we cannot wait to see you represent New Zealand on the world stage, because we know that you guys will be punching well above your weight. No pun intended, specifically for Tekken, but we're looking forward to seeing your performance. But that is the matches for tonight. So let's take a quick recap at what we've seen so far, because we have named the Nordica CSGO team last week.
Yes, we did. We named them last night as they managed to take out the Capybara Roadmen in a convincing 2-0, and they're looking very strong here. Our CSGO representative, the Aotearoa, they will have to play a game versus Australia and then another qualifiers versus APAC region in order to try vie for their spot in Romania. But the players today, they go straight through to Romania.
That's it. So CSGO, we had Nordica coming through. But then tonight, JMK King, Joshua King, the reigning champion and former E-Black for 2022, came through with the 3-0 victory over Noah. But it might look like that on paper, but it wasn't quite like that in reality, was it?
No, definitely not. It was a very, very close game. That first game go to penalties, a nail biter, and then Noah 1-0 up, but Joshua King showing that he's the king.
And then just as you have seen, a Mysterious River coming out on top for Koro there from the fighting game community. And look, again, it was just such a great contestant there. We saw here the contestants, we see them in the back, Josh and Mysterious River, our 2 new E-Blacks, and it's great to see them getting along. Look, what are you looking forward to most, having these people as E-Blacks representing New Zealand?
Definitely them in the jersey. I've heard it's quite a dashing jersey there, but it's also, it means much more than that, because New Zealand Esports is such a fantastic infrastructure to support these players. It's not like they just put on a name on anything. They get the full support that a real athlete would get in order to be able to try and succeed at their best.
Absolutely, and that's the allure to being an E-Black. These players have now competed through all of these stages online. They've made it to the national finals, and now they get to wear the black jersey, not just to represent their country and get the all expenses paid trips over to Romania, and later in the year as we have more opportunities through the global esports games, but we have the opportunity to really get behind them and support our esports athletes and celebrate the talents that they have through High Performance Sport New Zealand and all of the other great support mechanisms that New Zealand esports have. And so we are so excited to have 2 humble, talented and successful individuals that we're going to get back behind as they punch above their weight on the international stage. But for tonight, that is the conclusion. We have found our E-Blacks, and we now work towards our campaign for the test match against Australia, Romania against the world stage, and everything else that we have in store for 2023. Mr. Rochester, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on. Any final words for the audience at home or the players competing today?
No, it's been absolutely my pleasure. These players will go far, and Romania better watch out, because New Zealand, the team of 5 million, Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud, is coming your way to prove themselves and take that world #1 spot.
Absolutely. And then again, for everyone playing at home, we heard it from Mysterious River. It's if you want to be involved in the esports community, there's all these inclusive hubs around the country, all connected. Fantastic, thanks to Hyperfiber. So before you leave, be sure to enter the Hyperfiber giveaway. There's a headset and 12 months worth of internet connection waiting for you. Just type an exclamation mark Hyperfiber in the Twitch chat, or go to hyperfiber.co.nz/Hyperfiber prize to find out more about that giveaway. T's and C's apply. Must be 14 years or older. But otherwise, that's it for tonight. It's been fantastic, everyone. Thank you so much. And if you're really getting sad about this being content over, don't be sad about it, because we've got 7 days free trial at Neon. So go watch The Last of Us after the broadcast. You got just enough time for 1 episode before bed. Thank you so much from the team here at New Zealand Esports and LPL, all the players at home, and we'll have a great night. See you later on in the year.
Do you think you've got what it takes? The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, International Esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting